Hey everybody, I'm Jeremy Vance. This is your security survival guide, and today we are going to be talking about how you can make sure that you get a good, solid, reliable security supplier for your home and business and not be taken advantage of people by just wanting to find the lowest price possible and making that mistake. It's a trap. When you first are looking for a security supplier, the most common thing is either one of two things. You're either going to go with somebody you have used before or somebody you know's used before, or you're going to go on Google and you're going to type security suppliers and McDowell. At which point you're going to get whoever is putting money into AdWords or has the best SEO setup there. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be getting the best person for you. It just means you're going to get the most visible person for you. Now, a lot of what we do is always hard for me because if we want to do a lot of marketing, you'll notice that I don't come on here and tell you about my clients. Like I don't name them. We don't tell you what city they're in. We don't tell you what state they're in. Like, we cover nationwide and we don't tell you any of that because it's not our space to tell you that. That's for that company's security. It's not for us to be like, hey, look, we did a site in this suburb and it uses this system and it has this camera system. Thank you to John for doing. From a social engineering point of view, which is for people who don't know what social engineering is, it's basically the first step to hacking into either a network system or a physical site. The weak point is always humans, for the most part, right? So if you can get information on a human and then engineer that information to some sort of access, then you're social engineering. And with a lot of these people you see online marketing their businesses, we could literally do that if we wanted to. If we were feeling nefarious, we could actually impersonate a manufacturer or a supplier brand and be like, hey, look, we know you have this type of alarm system. We know you've gone through this type of installer. We can actually use that as an in to get information on you and your family, or your business for that matter. So we don't do that. So when you Google one of my companies, it's not necessarily you're going to, like if you go security in Brisbane, I'm not going to come up on the top because we're not chucking up a bunch of social media and random posts about all of our clients. So we have to keep that in mind. Now, the second trap that a lot of people do when choosing a security provider is they will go with the cheapest price that they get. Somebody will tell them, oh yeah, we can put a system into your office and for cameras and alarm, and it'll cost you, $4,000. And which seems great. They're like, oh, cool, we'll be done, blah, blah, blah. But in the end, what you're putting in is the equivalent of like a cardboard box, right? It's basically, you might as well just have got it from Bunnings and bolted it up yourself. It doesn't necessarily meet what you want as standards. It doesn't necessarily meet what you want as far as like features and availability and the ability to just withstand system trauma. So power outages, data outages, things like that. You're getting a checkbox filled is what you're doing with that. Your insurance told you that you needed an alarm system, so you're just checking the box. And that's okay if that's all you care about. But if you actually want to get value from your system, that's just not the way to go. So what can we do to find a good security supplier for us, for either our business or home? Now, as a rule, I tend to suggest people go with somebody that has a local presence. So for example, if you're in Perth and you want to use my services, I can help you, but it's just not going to be as reactive as if you were in Brisbane and Melbourne. Just basically truth of the facts there. And then on the other side of that, if you do want to go with a national security provider, because they're huge and big, and like Google, you think, oh, they're big, just be aware that you're a number. That's all it's to it, is you're no longer John with company X who has a working relationship with them, you'll talk to your account manager once a year, once it's all in there. So just be in mind. Now, again, usually if you call in or write in and you have an emergency, they have enough local presence no matter where you are that they can cover it. So that's the trade-off. But my suggestion is find somebody with a local presence that is not just a man with a van type situation. Now, man with a van security providers are actually quite good. So if you're doing just a small home or a small business, 100% go with that. If you're doing something larger, make sure they have enough fault tolerance to where if something happens, you're not just out a security provider and you have no information for your system. So we want some longevity and proof of longevity there. The other thing that I will say is that the best security providers that I know have working relationships, like close working relationships with each of their manufacturers and suppliers. So if you are talking to a security provider and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna put in this system, and which is a bunch of gobbledygook to you most of the time. But if you're a business owner, knowing what exactly the brand is and what models they're using is gobbledygook. However, you want to know what the end product is, right? So what the way it turns out and how it works for you. So if you are talking to the security provider and they're like, we'll use system X, Y, and Z, and we'll put you in control room A. At that point in time, it's completely valid for you to go, okay, cool. Is it possible for me to have a walkthrough of the showroom for that provider? Is it possible for us to get a walkthrough of the control room where all the people who will be monitoring my properties when I sleep work? The short answer is yes. So if you were to come to me, so let's say you were a prospective client of mine, and we were going through and we were doing the walkthrough, we do a map, I show you kind of what we're looking at on the layout of your design, what we're kind of solving, where the holes are, because there's always give and take when it comes to budget. What type of end user like interfaces that you'll be using, and I'll be like, all right, and say we're monitored through SMC, for example, and they're here in Brisbane, and we'll be going through and we'll be putting in, let's just, for example, it's a large site, we're putting in access cameras or something like that. If you were to be like, all right, cool, well, I don't know what SMC is or access is, can you actually take me and give me a quick show of these? Our answer is yes. You can actually come with us. We have working relationships with both of those companies and several other companies, depending on what you're needing. And we can actually have a visit of what they call their experience centers, or their control room has like a visitor type show and tell that we can go through, so that you can actually see the product back end. So you can see the people who are responsible for making that product work. Now, this helps you out in one major way. If the person that's showing you the proposal, so your new security provider, and they're like, oh no, we just order them in. Well, okay, so you know that they can order parts, but you don't know that they can actually support them, is basically what you're saying there. But if they go, yes, we order them in and we can actually bring in who you need and we can actually show what you want to do and stuff like that, then you know that they have a working relationship with the manufacturer and with the supplier, and they'll be able to do it. So for example, I have a couple really good manufacturers and suppliers. Specifically, and we'll just tell a quick story. I was doing a demo for a client down in Melbourne, and we were putting in a VMS system. And probably one of the best reps that I know from a manufacturer is the guy down that helps me in Melbourne with Dawa. I don't know if he wants to be named, so I won't name him. But basically, I was talking to him. I'm like, look, I need to do, it's not just a simple camera install. I need to actually go to the client and explain all these higher level features for these higher level cameras, because they actually do have levels of cameras besides that entry level camera. Do you want to come with me? We can actually go sit down with the client. We can give them a demo. We can show them. You guys can talk to them about Dawa and how that works and how the relationship works there. And I'll kind of cover the alarm side and how your stuff integrates with my stuff, which will then integrate with their stuff because they had some third-party software that was going to integrate as well too. And they said yes. So we actually went down as a team to the client site. The client got to meet the manufacturer of the camera system, the second largest camera system in the world. And then obviously my team, and we were able to sit there and kind of hash it out in more of a conversation and less of a, let me just tell you this is what you need and just trust me, which I know a lot of business owners, and myself included, sometimes we're like that, where I'm like, all right, look, I need insurance. Here's what I have. I don't care. Just make it happen. So if that's what you want, awesome. But you also don't want to get stuck in a situation where you have a bad product because you didn't want to put in a little bit of the legwork to actually make sure the product was good. Yeah. So again, how to make sure you choose a good security supplier for your home or business. How to make sure you choose a good security supplier for your home or business. We'll say that. Well, emphasis on the good there. That's how you do it. So it's easy to find people on Google. It's harder to find the good ones because they're kind of a little bit hidden. If you're a larger business and you're going to tender, make sure that when you're putting in your tender, you are putting in that it's not 100% based on price, because if you watch my channel, you'll hear all the time about people who've bought systems that basically don't do anything of what they want, and then I have to come in and fix those systems and add more to it. And in the end, the business owner paid more for that original system plus me fixing it than they would have if they'd paid just a little bit more upfront for me to install the entire thing properly. So make sure you're not just going on price. Make sure you're not just going on the first person you see on Google. My suggestion is when you're having the conversation with them, you'll get a vibe that they know what they're talking about, or they're just making it up first off. But when they offer you the solution, ask to see background proof of that relationship. Ask to visit the control room, especially if it's local. See if they have a showroom where they have a bunch of the different camera alarm systems where that you can go in and actually have a look around and stuff. See, usually if they're a reputable supplier, they'll not only have places where you can go to see the products and actually touch them and hold them and see how they physically look, but they'll also have people there who they trust, who trust them, that will actually be happy to tell you about all the benefits of the system and how they all work and what makes them special. All those things that are kind of fluff, but at the same time let you know that it's a real solid product that has a professional background with some sort of base there on what they're trying to put out into the world. It's not just imported stuff from China. Good luck. It's not what you want, trust me. So, all right, I think that will cover it. We'll see how many reels we can make out of this. I'll actually convert this into a podcast video as well too. So if you are watching on YouTube, you can like and subscribe. If you're watching on Spotify, please give us a follow. It actually helps a ton. And if you're watching all the little reels, make sure that you comment and have a conversation with us. Basically, we reply to every single comment that goes on there. Try to be nice. I'm old and social media is hard and I'm tired, and it's just, I don't want you to say mean things about me, just say nice things about me. That's all I want. Anyways, you guys have a very good day. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.